Hi everyone. Whoever has a cute, adorable little child, I like little children voices. If you could mute your microphone, I would really appreciate it. Okay. I'm taking attendance so I can send out what I need to send out.
Lily, can you go get my purse, please? And my phone charger? It's in my truck.
All right, we've got 1 minute. We'll see if anybody else joins us. If you do not have a microphone, or you don't know how to use it, as you look at the screen on the right-hand side, in the lower right-hand corner, there is a chat box. And so you can put your comments in there. All right, 2 o'clock, and I don't want to keep you. Welcome to class. I'm glad that we have this opportunity. I'm Alice Smith, and I am your instructor for this class. I do have to apologize right off the bat in that I am having a horrible time with allergies. So sporadically, more times than when I will have to all of a sudden mute you just for a second so I don't cough in your ear. So I have, correct me if I say your name totally wrong. Anne Marie, hi.
Hello.
Ashton, do I say that right? If you don't have a microphone, you could just put it in the chat box so your colleagues can see that. Okay, Courtney, you're muted. Okay, there's echo and I'm not sure why. Courtney, are you using your phone? Or someone using your phone? Okay. Heather?
Hello.
Hi. You have a little one. How little's little? Okay. Iris, you're on. And Laura. And is that Mariah? I have a friend's daughter that spells her name. Okay, yay. I have a friend's daughter who spells her name that way, and it's Mariah. And I wanted to make sure. I'm horrible at killing names.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to class. Now, this is about whenever you have a question, throw it out there, okay? Because 10 to 1, someone else does too. And if you wait till the last minute to ask me, you may forget it. And it's probably a very good question. So here we go, all right? This is the last conference for this class for this week. We will be having 2 more conferences around week 9 and 10 because there is a presentation that you have to do. And we're going to talk about it, and it's peer related, and we're going to walk together through it, and you'll be just fine. But there typically tends to be a lot of questions on it. And if you have a question that somebody else probably has a question, and I just want to put it out there where everyone can talk to each other about it. All right. So today, welcome. We did that one kind of. We're going to talk about a KWL chart. Then we're going to review course setup, start here, and the week 1. Class resources are available to help you. Textbook and Canvas for assignments, and office hours. And if you give me a minute, I need to bring up our textbook. I totally forgot about that. I'm threatening to do the Jeopardy thing for my students, and you guys can do a Jeopardy thing on me while I bring this up.
Do we need to bring our books up?
No, ma'am. I'm just doing a show and tell. And then grading and late policy. Now, some of it will overflow into each other, but when we all get said and done with this page, we should have at least touched everything on here. All right, let's do the KWL chart first. All right. Your first homework assignment, not your first homework, your first online videotape, whatever assignment. I'm requesting all of my classes to fill out what's called a KWL chart. It's know, want to know, learn chart. And the chart consists of 3 columns, as you can see. The first 2 columns are blue, and the last column is green. Now, you can flip through your textbook and go, oh, I know how to do that, and I know how to do that. I know how to write I know how to do an essay. I know how to do whatever that chapter's covering. I know how to talk about cultural communications. So you just kind of look through and you put down everything you feel really comfortable. Okay. If it's a, you may not want to put it in this column. You may want to put it more in this column. What I know is definite. This is what I know. Okay. What I want to know means it's a little bit in the gray area. You think you know enough about it, but you're not really sure about it. And then you're going to fill it out. I'm going to send it to you after the conference. And you're going to fill it out and send it back to me in Canvas. And we're going to then, I have a file, and I'm going to save it for our last meeting of the quarter. Then the last meeting of the quarter, you're going to then take your copy. If you lose it, that's fine. I'm going to save it, and I'll shoot it back to you. You can put down what you actually did learn. I'm not talking about complete sentences. I'm talking about topics. How to go jump in the lake. Okay, I learned all about that I wanted to know. Wanted to know how to jump in the lake? I learned how to jump in the lake. So that's what you're going to put in here. And we're going to talk about that and how you did on the course. Not grade-wise, but learning, and tell me maybe how we could have done things, how I could have done
not grade-wise, but learning, and tell me maybe how we could have done things, how I could have done something different.
Okay. There is some feedback if someone is on the computer with the microphone.
There is some feedback if someone is on a computer with a microphone and a phone handy also.
If you could turn the phone off.
If you could turn the phone off.
Or am I the only one? That's all right. Am I the only one that's hearing the feedback? If I'm the only one.
Am I the only one that's hearing the feedback? I'm the only one. That's all right.
I'm hearing it.
You're hearing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're hearing it. Okay.
For now, if you know how, can everybody just mute their microphones and then unmute them when they go to speak?
Mute their microphones and then unmute them when they go to speak.
Okay, how's that? Yay! Success. All right. All right. Go ahead. When you have a question, just unmute it and do it, and then we'll talk. Thank you very much for helping me out. All right. So fill out this part, and then save it somewhere. Send it to me. Save your copy. And then week 10 or 11, we're going to fill out this part when we meet at last, and then see how things have went and what maybe I could have done differently to help you get more of the information that you wanted to know about this. All right. Review the course setup. So let's go back over here. All right, so start here. I want to see if this class is any different. See the start here, you can chat with, you can just tell me or whatever in the chat if you wanted to. how many of you went through? You did this one because you signed up, but how many went through like these first 4 on the start here?
I did. I went through all of the start here and the modulars till I got to the week 1 assignments.
Cool. Who's me?
Heather, sorry.
That's all right. Courtney did. Iris did. Hey, good going, guys. Okay. I think I did okay. Iris, okay, cool. Because a lot of students in their helter-skelter lives, trying to get work, kids, family, whatever, in school, would look at this. I would be one of those that would go, oh, I'll look at that later. I'll just jump down to here. But there are a couple of things I really, really want to throw out there, and they're primarily in right there. Remember, if you want to throw in a question, throw it in. Okay. Discussion forum. I have a question for you. How many of you are new to Harrison this quarter? Nobody? Okay. Yay. All right. So just as a review, initial post should be between 30 to 50 words. And initial post due Wednesday night at 11:59 p.m. Your reply should be 20 to 30 words. This is like 2 sentences or so. And the replies are done by Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. If you're not real sure about how good your discussion posts are, this is an example that shows various examples of good discussion posts. Attendance has to be submitted either by discussion, assignment, or quiz. Now, this last time, recently, Harrison changed it that if you trigger attendance in one class, you cannot be dropped from any of your classes. But there's a pitfall in this, in that discussions are 20% of your grade, of your overall grade. And I really want to emphasize this because a lot of times students think discussions aren't that important. I'm not saying you guys think that, but I get that from a lot of students. And so I'm just throwing it out there to the masses. And discussions being 20% of their grade, I mean, that's all 3, okay? If you got everything else that you did for this class absolutely 100% correct, all your quizzes were all correct, all your assignments were 100% correct, your final exam is 100% correct, and your final presentation is 100% correct, the best grade you could get in this class is 80%. If you did absolutely no discussions. The other thing is that you miss interacting with your peers, which I think is always a cool thing. So really think twice about not doing a discussion totally. You could have a lot of the same effect only doing a discussion halfway, because basically I give you half credit for doing half a discussion. So think about that. Now, there is a but to this, and the but is if all heck breaks loose, and it also reflects down here in the assignments. If all heck breaks loose, and you're having one of the worst weeks you've ever had. As an example, a couple of quarters ago, I had a young student. She had a couple of children. She was working. Her husband worked in construction, and he fell off a scaffolding and got severely injured. And so automatically her focus, rightly so, was tension to being with her husband in the hospital, trying to take care of the kids, and figure out what the devil's going to happen. And so after about 2, she emailed me real fast. She told me what had happened. I said, fine, keep in touch. Let me know how things are going. And then after about 2 weeks, she came in. She says, oh my gosh, 2 weeks have went. I don't know what happened for 2 weeks. I haven't posted discussions. I haven't posted assignments, which is why we're getting into here too. These 2 tie together. So now all of a sudden, 8 to 14 days late is a 10% reduction of her grade, and she hasn't made up the homework. And now we're in here, and she was just beside herself. because he was improving. He was doing very well at that point, and now she was trying to get things back on track. All right. So if you just don't do discussions, and I have some students that don't, and then things get kind of nerve-wracking around middle of the quarter, and they go, "Oh my gosh, I need to do discussions." First off, I don't take late discussions. Just if it's just because it's late. If it's 8 to 14 days late on an assignment, it's 10%. 15 to 21 days late, it's 15. And 22 or more days of posting an assignment is 25. And this is why I'm also talking about discussions is right here. What we do, what this young woman and I did, and I've done this with other students, is we have a contract. We draw up a contract and say this is week 6. We're starting week 6. So the contract would read, and you're welcome to make suggestions about what would work better for you. From this point on, from week 6 on, you're going to do the quizzes, you're going to do your assignments, you're going to do the discussions all the way. And so this doesn't happen. We're going to talk about how to submit 1 late assignment or 2 late assignments per week until you get all caught up. And we'll carry that out through the last day of class, if need be. Okay. That way, it protects your grade. It still helps you to learn what you need to learn to be successful in this class. And it doesn't help. It helpfully keeps you from feeling this way. Okay. Questions about that? Remember the chat box over here, ladies, gentlemen. All ladies? Yeah, we're all ladies. Did everyone go to sleep on me? Thanks, Heather. I don't know if you guys understand or not. Okay. So no questions. We're all understanding. Okay, I really want you to try and understand about the contract because life does happen. And I hate assigning late points. It just kills me, but to be fair to everybody else, I have to. But it's just, no. All right, thank you. If you get to thinking about it and you don't understand, you go, wait a minute, what did she say? Email me, okay? All right, the way you can get me is Monday through Friday. You can either text or call me at this number. That's my Google number. Now, if you text or call, please say, this is Joe Blow, and I need you to call me at, okay? Because since this is Google, all I see is the phone number, and I don't see who it is, so I don't know who's trying to reach me. I prefer the hours of 10 to 5, Eastern Standard Time. On Saturday, I will respond to you as I am available. Because Saturday I'm doing errands. I have an activity Saturday morning that I do every Saturday. I'm not available on Sunday unless it's an emergency. And what I mean by an emergency is I've had, unfortunately, a couple of students that have had family members become quite ill or pass away. And so they will sit down and email me or text me to let me know what's going on, which I appreciate. I need that. I need to hear from you so I know what's going on in your life so I can help you with this class. And they go ahead and do it on a Sunday, which is terrific, just so they can get it chalked off. Okay, I've told her, and that's a mental checklist done. And on the lighter side, I have an expectant mommy policy, and so I've had a husband go, yeah, this is Susie's husband. I just took her to the hospital. She's in labor, so she's not going to be turning anything in today. So that's fine. And then in that case, the point of all this is in that case, I will respond back. I'll go, hey, congratulations, or I'm sorry, what can I do? That type of thing. But other than typically that, I won't respond to you. So from Saturday afternoon through to Monday, you won't hear from me, generally speaking. That once in a while I get caught in a crunch because of family demands and I have to do some work on Sunday, but I try really hard not to. So once in a while, if you see something graded on Sunday, it is because I'm in a time crunch. Now, you can also email me. If you can't get me on Canvas, you can also email me right there. I get your Canvas emails on my phone. also, so don't have to worry about that. My goal, it's a goal to grade assignments submitted on time from the previous week by the end of Tuesday evening. More than likely, most of the time it's Wednesday, but this is my goal. Resubmission of assignments would be graded as soon as possible. Current submissions are graded first. All right. The thing is about resubmissions too, is if you get a grade less than 73%, you can resubmit the assignment. That does not count on discussions. This is the regular assignments. Office hours are held by me on Tuesday, 2 to 4. A couple of things have changed since I said this, but I'm going to send out information again. The purpose of office hours is the time that you know that I'm in the classroom and I'm ready to talk to you. It's in conferences, just like you went to today. This is where you come to meet me in office hours. All right, anybody have any questions? If you don't want to respond, I'll assume everybody's okay. Questions? Yes.
I have a question. This is Heather. Will you send out with your Google number and email addresses because it's not showing up on my screen?
Yes. I'm surprised it's not showing. Hang on.
Yeah, the only thing I see is just the agenda. It's not showing me anything else. It might be my computer.
Okay, let me make sure that this started. Let me see, maybe this didn't start like I said it did. Maybe it's lying.
No, the agenda's on mine too.
Well, crap. Is that better? Is that better? Did I lose people? Well, sassafras. Because that says you see 2 screens, Ashton. That's strange. Ashton, what 2 screens do you see? Real crud. I don't understand that. Small display screen. Okay, can you minimize that? What the little screen that says screen sharing, can you minimize it? Is there like a little dash that you can click on? Can you click on that little dash? Oh, yay. See, I'm seeing it from an instructor's perspective, and I minimized mine like that. All right, I'm going to show the module, and then I'm going to pop back into here, and I'm going to, if you guys let me, I know, I don't get it. It's not supposed to do that. Okay, so there's the module. I'm hoping you guys see that. And now I'm back in the class. Well, crud. Hmm. Yeah, you're right, Iris. Thank you for sharing that because I'm concentrating on the other thing. Iris, if you can see, is that you go into the start here under modules. For those of you that can do that, that would be great. If not, I'll explain it, and then you can look at it after the conference. If you have questions, let me know. The other thing, yes, I will send it out, but my Google number, if you go to 5 things you need to know to be successful in this course under keys to success, number 4 has my Google phone number, and all the information I'm trying to give you now is under 5 things you need to know to be successful in this course. And if I go back to modules, you'll see when you go to them, you'll see this 1.0 lecture and assignment video information. And what that is that, you know, under the lecture and assignment videos, it tells you, it's this thing right here. It tells you a brief review of what's going to happen in the week. I may have extra YouTube videos on it. I will explain assignments that you have to do, kind of give you my 2 cents worth, maybe some hints and tips on it. And so it's just really a good thing to look at. You don't have to be in there long. It's just totally up to you. Now, I'm going to click here. Can you tell me if you can see that or not? It says culture and ethical business practices. Well, sassafras. Did that help any? I stopped recording. You're going to tell me no. Yeah, I figured you did. I figured you were going to tell me no.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so because of screen sharing, it's showing your screen.
Right.
If the screens you're trying to show us is what you're seeing, can you do the screen sharing and then we watch your screen?
That's supposed to be what's happening.
Okay, because well, I know, but when it was the screen sharing, it was showing your screen.
Oh.
So I didn't know if instead of us minimizing it, if we left that up, we could see what you're seeing.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know if it'll work.
I don't either, but hey, I'm open to it. All right. Do you guys have it now? You do. Okay, then I'll leave it alone. My other classes, I could minimize that, not a problem. All right, so we're going to do something different. That's cool. Okay, so you see, do you see the modules?
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay. Yay. All right. Ah, good. I won't bother this little screen then. I'll just leave it alone. Oh, you guys teach me stuff all the day. That's cool. I'm sorry for the trouble. I really am. All right. Now to answer the question about my Google number under the stop machine. I talk to inanimate objects. And what's bad about that is I got my grandkids doing the same thing. 5 things you need to know to be successful. Underneath contact grading. All right. I have my Google number here and the best hours to try and reach me. I have a couple family members with some health issues, and some days I will have to reschedule office hours. You will get a notice from me about that. When and if you Google me, if you could do me a favor and put your name there, because all Google does is give me a phone number. So you get this really confused person going, I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm here. And they'll do it. Office hours, I'm going to reconfirm office hours. I have 2 sections of business comm, and truthfully, I don't know if this is yours or not. I think it is, but I'm not going to guarantee it. Class resources, lecture and assignment videos. Somebody can type up if you start not seeing the modules. What I was telling you about the lecture and assignment videos is right here. So I do the week in review. Here's a video about the written assignment that's due this week. Sometimes people just like to hear a little bit about, this is chapter 1. I talk about chapter 1. The other chapter for this week is chapter 3, and this is the first objectives, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as you go along, you will see that I will reference. This is what you have to do. You have to go to objective 5 on page whatever and reference it and find out help on how to do your assignment. So if you don't have your textbook with you, a lot of my students sometimes do work during their lunch hour. You can pull this up on your iPad or your phone and see what the objective is, and maybe you could rough note it, some way to have you be able to use this to help you do homework or whatever. When I got my master's with a young woman who had 2 teenage daughters. One of them was really big into sports, and she was trying to get her master's like I was for the same thing. And so she would take her laptop and go sit in the stands while her daughter did the sports. This is something that she would do, just as an example. Now I think I have next week's I'll put in. Here's the agenda. There's a memo that you needed for this week. I sent it out, I believe, or made it available. Here's a memo template, and then here's the objectives again. Now, talking about this week, I'm still trying to figure out what was going on. Where are my brains there? I wanted to show you on here. I'm zigging when I should be zagging. Do you like that? All right. This is a contrast. You only have to put up with having your foot in the textbook camp and having your foot in the Canvas camp. And what I mean by this is, okay, one, please be sure you use the scroll down bar when you're reading the assignments. Okay. Don't stop reading until you see submitting your assignment. Now, I'm going to take this assignment 1.15, page 36. Study the 7 dilemmas on page 26 and select 4 of them. Then explain your answer completely.
Then explain your answer again. Explain your answer completely to each question.
Did somebody have a question for me? Okay. And then also be sure to include your analysis to each of the 5 questions in figure 1.4. Now this assignment is on page 36. Now this book is a good book. I like Mary Ellen Guffey. She's an excellent author. But her books that we have adopted, and for most people, is based off of face-to-face. And so 1.15, which is up here at the top, as a business communicator, so they give you a scenario right here. And then it says, study the 7 dilemmas appearing on pages 25 through 26. Okay, I said 26. Select 4 of them and apply the tools for doing the right thing on page 29 and choosing the appropriate action in a memo to your instructor or a team discussion. See, you're not doing team discussion, so that's not you. Explain the action you would take for each dilemma. Analyze your response to each question. Is the action you are considering legal? See, okay, how would you see the problem if you're on the opposite? So it's not helping you understand your basis for determining this part here. So what you need to do, and before I forget to tell you, the instructions in Canvas trumps the instructions in the textbook. So this says 7 dilemmas on page 26, which is what it did here. So we're going to go to page 26. First, your hand cannot move. All right. 7 dilemmas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you pick 4 of these. Sales reports. Should you inflate sales figures so that your team can meet its quarterly goal? That's one question. Your team leader strongly urges you to do so, and you receive a healthy bonus if your team meets its goal. All right, you only have one question on this one, but it's telling you this part affects up here. Okay, fine, no big deal. So presentation, you're rushing to prepare a presentation on the web. You find a perfect wording and great graphics. So you pick 4 of these. Then explain your answer completely to each question that's included in the dilemma. So you explain, include sales report. You have to totally explain this question. And some of the dilemmas have 2 questions or more. Now you're not done yet. Figure 1.14 on page 29. Okay, figure 1. Stop it, machine. 1.14, these 5 questions is also part of 1.15. You see here, is the action legal? Does that sound familiar? But they don't tell you the rest of this. Now, the other one that's in chapter 3 that sometimes I have students that get confused, and I wanted to show it to you just as an example. Okay, so this is 3.7. Okay, this chapter is about intercultural communication. And down here it starts talking about Trek Bicycle. You don't have to go research Trek Bicycle. Don't do that. It gives you all the information you need here about Trek Bicycle. It's just setting it up. It's giving you some information, how it started. We're on the next page. And like many companies, Trek encountered problems in conducting intercultural transactions. Gives you an example. Based on the principles you studied in this chapter, name several lessons that other entrepreneurs can learn. Okay. Principles like what? Okay. If you also look at Trek has objectives in 1, 3, and 5. Okay. That's the part of the chapter that references help for here. Everybody okay so far? Hello? Did I lose anybody? You've all quit. Makes more sense. Okay. I'm glad you're there, Mariah. Okay. Now we'll go back. All right. In Germany, Trek had to redesign its package to reduce waste. The really interesting thing is now they're an American-based company that decide, and tons of companies do this, that decide that they can go overseas and do American cultural practices overseas. Okay, that what they do in the United States, they can do the same thing in Germany, Italy, Japan, China, whatever. They totally disregard cultures. Like right here, in Singapore, a buyer balked at a green bike helmet, explaining that what a man wears on his head, it means his wife is unfaithful. So what did Trek do without knowing that? Trek created a green bike helmet to sell it. Okay, what's wrong with this picture? Okay, so it's like you didn't do your research, guys. In a memo format, discuss the information found on pages 99 to 103 that could help Trek Bicycle and other entrepreneurs be successful. This should be 2 to 3 paragraphs. Right. 99 to 103. So just take the time and look at the book. Okay, so 99. And I know your time is limited. This whole section is Objective 4, Culture and Ethical Business Practices. And right here, look at the pictures. My biggest clue to you guys is pay attention to the charts and the pictures. If you don't have time to read the material, look at these. Just look right here. Examine your own culture. Explore other cultures. Curb ethnocentrism. Can you begin to see how this right here will help you answer 3.7? Observe non-verbal clues in your culture. Use plain English. You know, when you go overseas in another country, they don't know slang. At least they don't know our slang, and we don't know their slang. Adapt to local preferences. You guys stop and think for a minute, and non-judgmentalism. Do you think this, without going through all the papers, might help you answer this? And look right here. Be sure to reference the specific section you are discussing. Okay. And here's a rubric. Does everyone know what a rubric is? That's okay. Just keep hanging in there. Okay, great. Before you submit any assignment to me, grade yourself. Okay, so this is a reading, writing, speaking, listening skills 1.3. You guys probably already done that one. Ethical dilemmas. 4 ethical issues were selected. Remember those. You answer the questions, you explain the answer, and you analyze the response for each dilemma. Here's TREC based on 99 to 103. Here's the references for that TREC. You will lose 5 points if you don't provide the references. But if you forgot that and you were getting ready to hand this in and you didn't grade yourself, you would have gone, oops. You would have went back, done it real fast, and saved yourself 5 points. Okie dokie. There's a marriage between the textbook references. Good question. Okay. When this is one of those times, most of the time I will ask you to refer to the book in answering these questions because I want to find out that you have at least looked at the book. So with Trek Bicycle not doing what they should have, and with the green bicycle helmet, you could say right here, explore other cultures, education. They should have researched China. They should have researched Germany to see what things were, to see what their practices are. Don't get so big, page. No, it's gone the wrong way. So you would have said right here, whatever page number this is, 100. On page 100, it states that, okay, yada, yada, yada. Or on page 1, or the textbooks talks about how you should Berlin-based watchdog group. I'm just pulling things out of the air. References, or trying to get a good, that's bribery. Citing who ethics. Ethics is a big problem because it says in there that Trek Bicycle had some things robbed. They had some of their things taken. And a lot of times what people want to do is pay off someone so that they can get a better location. And so you may want to say they need our ethics and overseas ethics aren't appropriate. And you have to be careful to watch the ethics. And so you would say on page 102, you need to distinguish between, if you quote something from the book, put quotes around it. Refuse business options. Resist legalistic strategies. Don't use tactics. Watch out for your distributors. I'm just throwing dumb stuff out, but that's what you would say. In other words, reference this here in your answer on page whatever. Or Joe Blow says. Am I making any sense for you? Okay. Yes, most of the questions coming from the book, but I want the purpose of reference it or I tell you to use objective 1, 2, 3 is that you can tell me if I'm saying use objective 1, 2, 3, you need to give me something from that objective in your answer. So page whatever, objective whatever, this is what da 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 da. It's like a small essay of 3 to 4 sentences that go together. Right, but I don't. You're absolutely right. It is coming from the book anyways, but you do need to tell me where you got it. It's not that I'm thinking you plagiarized or anything. It's that I want to know where you got it, and for you to have found it, you have had to at least read some of the material. Does that make sense? Because you guys don't have to answer, but I know in my deepest of hearts, given your schedules, you would have loved to read the books that you have for all your classes. You would love to do all the reading that's required. I know that because you want to learn. If you didn't want to learn, you wouldn't be here. Okay? But the bottom line is that there's only so many hours in the day. And the bottom line is that sometimes you just can't. So if nothing else, I would like to see. No, yeah, it sort of is a citation, Ashton. You sort of will have on page so and so, okay? But you don't have to do, it's Mary Ellen. I can't even think of her name now. I'm trying to think of other things. Just the page or the objective. In objective 99 on page 300, 3046, it says da 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 da. That's okay. You're doing fine. I'm glad you asked. Oh, that's cool. So I know that you guys are not going to read every reading for every class. Okay, it's just not possible. There's not many hours in a day. So I want you, when it says objective, or where I refer to objective, at least go read that objective. That's why I have, you're talking about your reading it to you. That's one of the reasons that I broke down under lecture and assignment video. Come on. You could click here. As soon as it downloads. Okay, it's going to be slow to download because it's big. You can click here and see the objective and at least read that objective so that when you go home tonight and you get ready to read to do your homework, you know what that says. Or you can make notes on that says while you have lunch or you go on a 15-minute break somewhere. Okay? All right, so are we okay now? Cool. All right. The KWL chart, we talked about it, I think. Great. I'm glad. We talked about modules, discussions, assignments. You have to have Office 2016. Thank you very much, Iris. Office hours, I'm going to resend them to you just to make sure we're on the same page. Get help with lecture and assignment videos, office hours. Google me, send me information if it's Sunday night and you're going, what? Just do your best. Let me look at it real quick. I will not grade it. All right, I will look at it and I'll answer the questions you have. I'm a real big one for doing videos and sending back videos as well. All right, we're down towards the end. You guys are almost done. Select one or all three of these, please. You only have to do one, and then respond to it here. What kind of discussions, Aston? Like the weekly discussions? Okay, you still have to do for this one. Yeah, I think I took the discussion out of this one. Computers, I didn't. Computers, they needed it to do a homework assignment, so they had to do both. Trying to keep my classes straight. Okay. Thanks. So 1, 2, 3, all three some. To be honest. Right. I'm glad. Remember, the instructions trump the book. And if you have questions, you ask before you do anything. Okay? If in doubt, shoot me an email. It's always better to get it right, get an assignment right the first time than have to try and find time to. I mean, if you have a hard time doing an assignment the first time, you're going to have a hard time finding to redo an assignment along with everything else. That's my philosophy. I don't know about you guys. Yay. It was supposed to. I will have to double check that. Thank you. Okay. The videos. Okay. Dang. Okay. The weekly lecture and assignment videos, there is assignment videos in there that would do what you're talking about right here, Ashton. Okay. Well, sassafras, as I say that. Conference time show up. I'm making a note. I must not have clicked something I should have. Okay, Laura, I totally appreciate that. With your schedule, that would be that may be difficult sometimes. If I do a conference, I will videotape it, and I will be always happy to send it to you. Yeah, that's okay, Ashton. If you watch them and you're still confused, make sure you ask me. Again, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, I cannot help you if I don't know what you need help on. You have to talk to me for me to be able to answer your questions and ask them. And it's an old saying, and you can go, yeah, right, okay. There is no stupid thing as a stupid question. Okay? All right, you have to do a poll, and in 9 minutes, I have another one for you guys. So, are you ready? All right. Yay. All right. You pick. Why is this doing this? Oh, I know why. You pick A, B, C, and D. What is the late policy for this class? I assume the next class say that you go back to the PowerPoint. If you go back to the class, because I don't have any control over this box, you're seeing it because of the screen sharing. You have to go back to the actual PowerPoint. Okay, all right. I think I'm gonna, all right, hang on. You see it now? Okay. If anybody can't, maybe someone else can help them. I have 2 out of 7. You can't. Before we go to the next one, 3. Okay, while you're doing this, I'm going to send you the access to this class so you can take the 20-point quiz. The quiz is pretty much the same as this one, as these questions. But you don't get the 20 points for doing this if you don't do the conference quiz. But it's locked because those people that do not participate just cannot have access. No. I just need to know when you're gone so I don't hang up on you. Iris asked if she has to stay on the chat, and it's no. I just need to know when you're gone. I would hate to hang up. Okay, I'm going to stop screen sharing. Maybe that will help. Okay, the second one. When are assignments due? On Wednesdays? So do I, Iris. On Wednesday, Sunday evening by the time I go to bed, Monday morning when I get up and go to work, or Sunday evening. This will go real fast. So I have my other business comp. Man, you guys jumped into that one. Ah, stopping screen sharing. You taught me something. Okay. Next one. When are initial and final discussion posts due? On Sundays, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when I have a chance to submit, even if they are late. Wednesdays at 11:59 and Sunday at 11:59. Number 4, what are rubrics and where can I find them? Rubrics are a term that instructors use and I do not understand. I have seen them and know where they are. Rubrics help tell me how to complete an assignment. I do not need to read the instructions. Or after completing an assignment, a rubric provides a check sheet for me to be sure I did everything. Man, you guys are speed demons. Number 5, what's the purpose of lecture and assignment videos? Something else I'm required to watch and takes my time. Videos that help me with the task for the current week. Videos that explain the task for the week and gives me clues about where to find help if I need it. Okay. All right, ladies. This is a new format for both instructors and students. Please be patient with us as we get used to it. I expect us to be patient with you guys also. I'm excited about the format. Request your patience while we work. I hope you enjoyed this conference. If you have any suggestions, please send me an email within Canvas and let me know. And I hope you have a really nice weekend.